It's a rematch from last year's Sweet 16, arriving this afternoon here on a Sunday with a spot in the Division 5 Final Four on the line as Mr. Basketball nominee Jason Singleton and Columbus Academy battle it out with Dayton commit Julian Washington and the Polar Bears of Margaretta. It's regional championship basketball from Big Walnut High School in Sunbury coming at you next.
Rossford, lights on crowded, college hoops, let it begin. Big screens glowing every play, from tip-off nights to St. Patrick's Day. Green beer flowing.
We're live outside Danny's, and the big headline is on the menu. Lake Erie Yellow Perch emergency has folks concerned.
Fresh Lake Erie Yellow Perch. Danny's style.
Danny's Cafe Rossford, real Lake Erie perch, best in Ohio.
Maumee Bay Turf Center, a leader in synthetic sports services as well as natural field construction, maintenance, and renovation. Maumee Bay Turf is part of Turf Nation, the most trusted source in the synthetic turf industry, including creating the surface for the biggest game in pro football. From professional, college, and high school sports to recreation and commercial projects. Check them out at MaumeeBayTurfCenter.com and see our large collection of finished projects and services. Maumee Bay Turf Center, we build better.
Local sports deserve to be done right. We're built for the communities that support the game. This isn't about one season. Every season matters because every game tells a story. And those stories don't stop at the final buzzer. We're here for every moment, big or small. Watch anytime, anywhere on your schedule. And it's always free to watch. This is the future of local sports. This is the OH Report.
It's the Maumee Bay Turf Center pregame show. We've got 2 of the top 8 rated teams in Ohio meeting, riding the momentum of really long win streaks here into the regional championship as Margaretta and 8th-ranked Columbus Academy get set to collide for a spot in the Division 5 State Final Four. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Big Walnut High School on this Sunday afternoon. I am Brian Skoronsky, Chris Bliley joining me here today. We've got Northwest Ohio meeting Central Ohio in a rematch of the Sweet 16 from last year. 26 consecutive victories between these two programs, and I think if you ask both sides and their fan bases, they both feel like they're the favorite coming into this game.
One more announcement. The star of the show, Jory Skoronsky on camera. Let's not forget her. I hope I didn't get you in trouble.
I wait for the end of the game. She likes to be behind the scenes, behind the camera.
Sunday fun day here. I am looking forward to this one. I can't thank you enough for giving me the invitation.
Sure.
We had a great one last night with Euclid and Massillon, and this one also going to be a great one. You know, that was a game for 3 quarters last year between these two teams, and then really the talent took over in the 4th quarter for Columbus Academy as they went on to that big win, and then eventually falling to Lutheran East in the state finals. The interesting thing is Lutheran East is sitting out there waiting right now. They've advanced through the regional. 3 of the 4 teams have punched their ticket. We just need to find out who's going to go on the other bracket here.
Let's tell you about Margaretta trying to break through, knock off the Vikings who beat them last year. And what you like about the Polar Bears, they really beefed up their non-league schedule this year in preparation of games like this, getting a big vent. Their 3 losses by a combined 13 points to 3 teams who were also playing for regional titles this year. So that shows you just how much they've tried to test themselves. And this program, they've been waiting an awful long time for this moment. They have not been to state in nearly a century.
That is a long time coming. I've done a lot of games at Margaretta over the last 10 years, probably over 100, and I stare up at that 100-year window there that exists. And unfortunately, their girls team fell in the state semifinals, so let's hope they have better luck here for their boys team today.
But you love how many of those young ladies are here in attendance, and the student section absolutely packed from wall to wall here for the Polar Bears. They will have the upper hand in terms of just overall fan support, and they also have this guy, their all-time great star, Julian Washington, 4-year starter. I think you could say that he's the greatest Polar Bear to ever put on the jersey. He started getting D1 offers as a freshman. He's closing in on 2,000 points, averaging a career best 24 points per game as a senior. And what a story it would be. We were talking about this last night. A kid that's committed to play for the University of Dayton for his college career. If he can cap off his outstanding high school efforts going down to Dayton and playing at UD Arena.
The best 2 things I could say about Julian have nothing to do with basketball. First, he's a great student, and he's even a better person. Very humble, likes to take blame when something goes wrong, and he is a true leader for Coach Keller. And they can win without him being big, but they can't win without his leadership.
And they've won a couple of games along the tournament trail that we've had on the OH report, where he has not had big-time numbers, but they've got a great supporting cast this season. That was the case last year for Columbus Academy, but they graduated 7 seniors from that historic team to finish as state runners-up last year, and they had to figure it out. At the beginning of this year, they lost their first 2 games of the season. They actually started 4-4, Chris. Haven't lost since. 18 straight victories dating back to January 6th, so it took some time to develop, but now this team, they feel like a juggernaut. I've watched them a bunch. We've had them on the OH report, and led by the star spotlight that we're about to get to, Jason Singleton. It just feels like everything kind of evolves around him, and they've got this thing going on under head coach Jeff Warsler.
Yeah, they've got a great thing going. Obviously, Singleton, the leader of that group. I think the interesting dynamic here will be Margaretta's going to come in with a chip on their shoulder from last year, and the bullseye is squarely on the back of the Vikings. Can the Vikings play with confidence saying, you know what, it was a close game for 3 quarters, but then we took it to you, took you behind the woodshed and beat you up pretty good in that 4th quarter? Or will it be Margaretta saying, you know, what happened last year, we've waited all year for this rematch?
And they've probably been hoping that they would get another shot at the Vikings. I've heard that story from multiple teams along the tournament trail, where that's what's cool about the playoffs. You start getting these new rivalries. You don't see them during the regular season. Heck, they're on different sides of the state, but you get to these parts of the tournament and you start seeing the same teams over and over. Of course, there's going to be some bad blood and some mixed emotions when you get into these battles.
Real quick, before I know you're going to talk about Singleton, you had told me that you had heard a little bird landed on your shoulder and that they may be down a few players on their roster. Had me go down and look, and there are 6 players that are on the roster provided to us in the program that are not dressed today that may be on start of spring break, and so it'll be interesting to see when they come out if it's the normal 5 starters or not.
Yeah, noticeably, Gabriel Davis-Ray is not here. He's a Northwestern commit. So if they don't have that kid out on the floor, that's going to be a big difference for this team. But they do have a gentleman in the conversation for Mr. Basketball, super versatile player, a 4-star prospect, high IQ, committed to Harvard, picked over Ohio State. How about that, where his dad was a star for several years? Kid just had 28 points in the regional semifinal against Afrocentric. I mean, he is the captain of the ship, unquestionably, for 4 years for this program.
And he steps up in big games. In last year's state championship game against Lutheran East, he went for 27 points and 9 boards.
Yeah, he's outstanding. He's won over 90 games in his 4-year career. He started every single game for Columbus Academy. So that young man right there, if the Vikings are able to overcome being down 6 guys today, I'm telling you, he's going to be the reason why they get the ball into his hands just about every single possession on offense, and they kind of need to.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if we get a Washington-Singleton matchup on defense. One thing Coach Keller likes to do is he'll run some multiple defenses. So he'll throw, try to make Singleton uncomfortable by putting Cale Bailey on him, by putting a stronger Judah Keller. He may be smaller. So he's going to see multiple defenses, multiple players guarding him, I would assume.
Got a really awesome crowd that has formed here on Big Walnut for a Sunday afternoon, and you're seeing some Sunday's best. Of course, a lot of green, a lot of maroon out in the audience today, and we are just a couple minutes away from getting it on between Margaretta and Columbus Academy. But first, let's pause. Let's honor America with the playing of our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. And with that, the stage is set. Regional championship basketball here today from Sunbury. The winner moving on to Dayton, the last team to be decided in the state of Ohio who will compete in Division 5. We told you about both of these teams, how they've been able to get here, the long winning streaks that they have. Now let's tell you our keys to victory. We'll begin first with the Margaretta Polar Bears. I feel like for this team, you got to get out and run. Julian's right at the head of the snake when it comes to that, but they've got other guys like a Judah Keller. Anybody who takes it off the glass, you feel comfortable with getting out and running. If they can get points off of that, I think it's their day.
I think we both agree the key to the game is transition, and I think I agree with you totally, but I also think it works on the defensive end. I think Columbus Academy doesn't want to get this game slowed down and run set, so I think they're going to try and get out and run, and I believe that Coach Keller is going to do everything in his power to stop that transition.
Non-starters being announced for the Polar Bears, and I believe they'll go right into the starting lineup for Margaretta after this.
Margaretta will start the same 5 they've started all year in the regional semifinal game against Genoa. They had Jake Boy was the only player who came off the bench, and that was for basically 2 minutes. And this young man right here, Cale Bailey, he is going to be a special player next year. He's playing behind a great senior class, but he can just downright shoot it. He slashes to the basket at 33 in a game earlier. And
he'll be joined by Julian, of course, Keegan Morris. This is the all-time program assist leader right here. Coach's kid, Judah Keller. What an extension of Pops he's been out on the floor. And then Tyson Bailey, 24 against Genoa. Big time for him to knock off an undefeated team.
The 24 was huge, but through 3 quarters, Walter Plants, the Ashland University commit, was held to 6. He's 6'2", Plants 6'8", and he basically guarded Walter one-on-one.
He's got outstanding footwork. That's what has really stood out to me watching him this season.
And how could you not with Jake Meisler as a post coach, right?
Yes, an all-time great for Margaretta. So for Columbus Academy, my key, you got to force some jump shots. If Julian Washington and the Bailey cousins are able to get into the lane, they are both such high percentage shooters. They blow you away with their ability to finish with both hands. You have to force them outside the lane.
I agree, and it's easy to look at this game and look at our featured players and say the game comes down to which one of those two, leads their team. But I think those two will neutralize one another, and it's going to be Batman and Superman, or Robin and Superman that help out. So will it be Cale Bailey and Tyson Bailey? Who's it going to be on that side if you don't have Davis Ray? And he is not on that bench. At least if he is, they don't have a number 12 on him.
So Charles Ruby gets the start. He's going to be joined by William Bundy. You saw Singleton get his name called. Here is Mitchell Zumberg, the sophomore. He's been emerging as a big-time weapon for him. And then their big fella in the middle, Ronaldo Perez. That is a huge body. We talked about Walter Plants and what Bailey had to go up against. This is going to be a very similar situation.
Looks a lot like that guy from Massillon last night, Garner. Football body for sure.
You can tell he's got that football mentality, the way that he plays as well. As we wrap up our Maumee Bay Turf Center pregame show, and we are ready for the opening tip-off this afternoon. It's a matinee edition. Elite 8 status here for both of these teams. What an awesome environment already.
Yes.
Tapped around, it'll be controlled by Singleton. As mentioned, he's going to touch the basketball basically every single possession.
Margaretta does open up in the man-to-man with a Julian Washington on Singleton matchup.
First shot collected for an offensive board by Zumberg. He'll miss it in tight and eventually taken down here by the Bears and Morris. Washington steps into a transition 3, front rim. You'll live with that if you're Columbus Academy.
Absolutely. Keeping him out of the paint is key. He likes to see the ball go through the bucket, so he likes to get started with the mid-range game early.
We do have the matchup of our 2-player spotlights, a couple D1 commits.
I don't have Zumberg's size down low, but Tyson Bailey, again, giving up probably 5 inches down low in the block.
I think he's about 6'6".
Okay,
maybe even taller.
Yeah.
Down low, off target for Perez. It'll be intercepted, taken by Tyson.
Judah Keller with the ball, one of the toughest on-ball defenders you're going to see. Plays with a chip on his shoulder.
Morris gets it back into the hands of Keller. Singleton, that will be his assignment tonight. Judah gives it up out of the whirly bird. It's tipped, but chased down by Tyson.
Boy, very patient possession here.
Then intercepted. It was bobbled into the hands of Perez. Singleton, right side, looking for the first points here this afternoon. Huge size advantage. He's about 6'5". Keller, not even 6 foot.
Good job by Keller, to make Singleton give that up and not get the shot off.
He is a football player. He'll be playing at Findlay. He's stout, and you talked about the chip on his shoulder. That thing is a boulder, my friend, and I don't think it's ever leaving.
All Ohio first team defensive back.
Morris off the rebound, gets it to Keller. Here's Judah on the attack, sweeping across the lane, and the friendly hop.
Well, and you could see Mitchell certainly altered that shot, but Judah was able to still get it to go in.
Academy breaks the press into the front court, and they'll get it back into the hands of Charles Ruby, who's having trouble just letting everybody know what type of set they want to get in.
Well, they missed a turnover there. Everybody across the way saw it.
Morris starts into the passing lane. Singleton able to regather. Washington picks him up here left side. Jason will play at his pace. He's able to go from first to fourth gear like instantly. Right now,
first time watching Jason live, and boy, they seem like twin players of one another, both very unselfish.
Little short, Ruby gets his own miss, and we'll get a foul on the floor. This will go against Margaretta, first foul in the game.
Right now, 2 offensive rebounds, so Margaretta got to box out on the defensive end.
Replays this afternoon presented by NAMI Ohio. Double team. Now they'll come back out top. They will reset here with William Bundy. Here's Zoomberge, pitches it out. Fortunate that's into the hands of Singleton.
And Ruby, who's been running the point a little bit for him, doesn't look like he wants to shoot it off that last baseline out. He had an open look, but passed it up.
Great zip pass to the opposite corner. And now Keller sends ahead. Here's Washington. This is where he's really dynamic. A lot of hang time, and he'll head to the free throw line.
And good thing they called the foul, because right there to clean it up and put it in would have been a Margaretta polar bear. Each team with 3 rebounds, each team with 1 turnover at this point. This might be first 1 to 40. Both defenses elite, and something has to give. Margaretta scores 72 points a game, and Columbus Academy gives up, I want to say, in the low 40s.
And specifically lately, the Vikings, they've been holding just about everybody under 50 points 14 games in a row, Chris.
Wow, that's impressive. Little 1-2-2, just basically to slow them up. Not trying to create turnovers off it.
Singleton lost the bounce, lost his footing. Really upset with himself, and Polar Bears fans upset that it's not their basketball. Let's see.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it went off of Morris. I thought it touched his leg going through. Hard to say. You know, the one telling factor there, Singleton was running back down court like, oh, it hit me.
I'm sure along the tournament trail that Singleton has not yet seen a guy that's got the athletic prowess that Julian Washington has, who now switches up top now on Ruby.
Yeah, now we've got the 3rd defender guarding Singleton. Keegan Morris switched off to him.
Bears packing it in, tipped out of his hands.
Good defense. Julian fouled out of the regional semifinal game with about 2.5 minutes to go, and Margaretta up by 6, and they were able to hold on. Julian wants to stay out of foul trouble.
Perez facing up. Twin Towers remain in the game. They're shorthanded today, as we detailed. 6 players on the roster not here today, and now they're on the board. Took them 5 minutes.
Great basket cut there. And
Margaretta just threw it away.
Turnover. Yep. Second turnover on the Polar Bears.
Let's see if we can see it. Nah, it's just a little outside of our camera view.
Yep.
It was intended for Washington, and he was not expecting
and now
the
they're going to
basketball.
change it. And that's what good officials do. They got together.
It couldn't have been based off of our replay.
Right.
So they made the determination that Vikings got a little piece. As Morris turns looking and fouled on the arm by Ruby.
Foul number 2, Ruby.
Second team foul.
Oh, really, really tough call there. You see Keegan Morris just lost the basketball. No contact whatsoever. Meanwhile, Washington baseline. Toss it in between the legs of Perez, but he's able to pick it up.
Yeah, turned it over. He got caught under the basket and was too far under to try and put it on the glass, and then so tried to pass it through his legs unsuccessfully.
Washington gives off the switch here for Morris now on Singleton. Perez trying to establish himself down on the block.
See Morris every night. He's looking left, he's looking right. He's going, where's my help? And now they've dropped down to a 2-3 zone.
And one coming up for Zoneberg. He's able to establish himself, absorb through the contact, and he's got the height advantage over everybody right now for Margaretta.
Well, and the guy you want on Zoneberg, because they're in the 2-3 zone, had to get to the shooter in the corner. And that left him against a few smaller, less muscular players.
3-point play capped off. Vikings enjoying their first lead so far this afternoon.
Yeah, 5-0 run right now as Margaretta had the first 3. I'm trying to think. I don't think Cale Bailey's taking a shot. I don't think Tyson Bailey's taking a shot. I think the only 2 people that take a shot for Margaretta are Washington and Keller.
More free throws on the way for the Vikings. Aggressive move here by Charles Ruby, just playing downhill. A couple crossovers and then just banging his way to the bucket through Tyson Bailey, who draws the personal.
Good looking stroke there.
Just under 2 minutes to go here in this first quarter. Vikings looking for the last 7 points if this drops. Zoomberg in and out. Now Perez, consecutive offensive rebounds, and Washington finally able to gather here for the Bears.
Yeah, that's 4 offensive rebounds on the contest now.
Keller bobbles, goes to work, left hand, and over Zoomberg. Might have affected it a little strong. Right back to Singleton, and it's deflected out. Keegan Morris with the block shot.
Morris committed to play golf at the University of Bluffton. Pulled out that driver to get a little extra length. Or as you like to say, go gadget.
Seems that way with some of these players. Zoomberg off. No, count it. Initially, I thought it was going to be an offensive foul.
I did too, and that's Jake Boy who snuck into the game here. Where's number 10? Their 6th man.
Timeout taken by Coach Keller. First timeout burned by either side here. And let's go ahead and just look at this last play.
I think the only thing you could say was too far underneath the hoop maybe, but boy, it certainly looks like an offensive foul to me.
Yeah, heavy contact right there. They're going to say initiated by Bailey. First foul of the game.
On Jake.
Oh, it was Jake Bowie who checked it. That's right.
14 fouls on Margaretta, so the Vikings will be in the bonus. They still have 2 fouls to give before they would put the Polar Bears in the bonus. Still fans rolling in here right now, Brian. Late, probably went to 11:30 Mass, getting here a little late.
You got to give God the glory and then
That's right.
come out here and then give your team the support. I'm sure a lot of folks here in attendance today have gone about their Sunday in that exact variety. Another rebound for Julian Washington.
Margaretta being out-rebounded 7-5 right now.
Keller lost it. Singleton around the back. Washington tied him up, but fouled him.
And it's bonus time. 5 team fouls on the Polar Bears. And that's uncharacteristic pass there from Judah Keller.
And I think Washington makes a great case.
Sure does.
He just came and wrapped that thing up like he was a fullback taking a handoff.
Coach Keller getting a warning. And that is a 9-0 run right now, Brian.
Vikings started slow, took them 5 minutes to get on the board, but the last 2 minutes they put up all these points. Singleton rattles home the second.
And I think the last, you talk about keys to victory, limit transition, turnover, bucket there, offensive rebound, stick back.
Bears desperately looking for someone to step up offensively. It's Washington. Hang time, and he'll shoot 2 more.
And again, almost a turnover out top. Julian able to bat it to himself.
Washington at the line shooting 2.
I think if Perez decides not to go up there, he probably could have taken a charge. And that breaks the 10-0 run.
Washington with 2 points so far. Now a chance for the Polar Bears to get active here. Full court defensive pressure.
Now they've gone to a little diamond press where they're actually trying to turn over Columbus Academy here, trapping that first pass.
Singleton backs out to the logo. They'll send a second defender. It's Morris. The plan from Coach Warsler was to hold for the final shot.
And you got to watch out here if you're Julian. You just picked up that first foul. You don't want to pick up the second here in the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, that'd be devastating. Off the double, Singleton, nice catch. Wanted to throw a kid on a poster. Lifted out, and now Judah back the other way. How about the hop step bucket to close out the quarter in style? Big momentum here for the Bears.
Big finish there, and you wonder if Singleton couldn't have just laid that in instead of going for the highlight.
10-7 your count. We'll be back. Second quarter on the way from Sunbury.
Maumee Bay Turf Center, a leader in synthetic sports services as well as natural field construction, maintenance, and renovation. Maumee Bay Turf is part of Turf Nation, the most trusted source in the synthetic turf industry, including creating the surface for the biggest game in pro football. From professional, college, and high school sports to recreation and commercial projects. Check them out at MaumeeBayTurfCenter.com and see our large collection of finished projects and services. Maumee Bay Turf Center.
Raucous atmosphere here at Big Walnut High School this afternoon. The Polar Bears with a nice little 4-zip run there to close out the first quarter after a 10-0 spurt there by Columbus Academy. And we got a fun one going on here, Chris Bliley.
Yeah, it's, I look down at the stat sheet, and the thing that sticks out, there's elite three-point shooters in this game. We don't have a three-point make so far.
Only even had a couple attempts, and
yes.
I think both right now by the Polar Bears and this man, Julian Washington, who's starting to heat up.
Mid-range game now. The difference is one made free throw.
First field goal for Washington this afternoon.
And Margaretta has extended their defense right now. Julian looking again. They're going to run a double team at Singleton, make them give it up.
Tough catch, but it's made by Zumberg. Sophomore looking to establish down on the block. He'll get a touch. They're going to go at Tyson Bailey. He gives up size, but boy, does he know how to move his feet.
He sure does.
Ball loose on the ground, sets up this jumper off the backboard. Singleton keeps the possession alive, whirling into heavy traffic, and I'm going to call that a bailout. Not sure where he was going to go with that. Instead, it'll be the free throw line.
And on Tyson, is that his second? That's his third. So I didn't know he had 2 in the first, but that is 3 on Tyson Bailey. That is big.
Massive call. So Bailey going to check out presumably for the remainder here of this quarter. Be replaced by Kale in the lineup. Perfect trip to the free throw line for Jason Singleton.
6 of their 12 points have come from the charity stripe here in the first 9 minutes.
Washington cut off, trying to go baseline. He's going to try again, just bullies his way, and Ruby picks up his second.
Well, and I think there was a couple ticky-tacks on the other end that went against Margaretta. That looked like pretty solid defense, but that also could be a makeup from one of those ticky-tacks at the other end. Lob right to Julian, and he misses it at the bucket.
If we get a dead ball, I'll replay that for you guys.
9-6 rebounding edge for the Vikings.
Coach Keller's just made the determination, anybody but Jason Singleton. Just trying to force it out of his hands. Here's Ruby, baseline blocked! Morris with his second swat, and look out below, showtime!
Flight 41, you're clear for takeoff.
Julian Washington brings this Margaretta squad right back in the game, down 1. Their fan base electrified. Zoomberg missing, Perez gathering in the stick back.
Boy, after a low scoring first quarter, things are starting to heat up here a little.
Pace really starting to turn up and under. Washington with the acrobatic left hands.
You know, one thing's for sure about Julian, we've had 5 or 6 of their games. He's only been our MVP one time, but he is always involved in the play of the game.
Big stuff right there. Timeout taken by Coach Worsler. First timeout for the Vikings. I'll dial up some of these replays for you. We've had some good ones going here in this second quarter.
Yes, we have. Statistically right now, the difference to free throw line is Margaretta's only been there 4 times, and you see some of these replays here. Julian, like I said, he likes to get the mid-range going, and when he sees the ball go through the hoop, then you're going to get some of that action.
We know that he's been a big-time levitator. Ever since 8th grade, I caught him with the Ohio Buckets, was when I first learned of him 5 years ago. He was dunking back then.
You know, and I think that basket there, probably, you know, you wouldn't see it on SportsCenter as much, but that, to me, much harder shot than him going up and throwing one down.
Oh, sure, dunks for him are a dime a dozen.
Right.
To be able to do that, keep the defenders at bay, going underneath the rim, that's big-time stuff right there. That's why he's moving on to one of the bigger programs in the state of Ohio. He'll be playing for the Flyers of Dayton starting next season.
Well, it will be interesting to watch here. Jake Boy is going to be on the court. You know, he came in at the 7-minute mark. Tyson Bailey went out of the game after having his career high in the regional semifinal with 24 points. And now Jake Boy, who usually doesn't get a lot of minutes, but, you know, in conference play played a lot because they're winning games. But now it's a big opportunity for him.
14-13 to count on our Ace Lawn Care and Landscaping scoreboard. Shout out to Lou Garcia for sponsoring our Margaretta coverage, and his phone number's right there if you want to get set up with service up in Sandusky, Huron area.
Well, and I lied. The new player into the game down here in the corner, number 1, that's Ryan Coates. He was one of the that filled in for one of the players that's on spring break.
Tipped around, and it'll be collected here. Rebound for Kel Bailey. Now Keller sizing up the defense. Little blow by, finds 2 or 3 extra defenders. Left an open jump shooter, but Kale can't capitalize.
That's Kale's game. He's got to keep taking those. stay in that man-to-man. Kind of showed a matchup, but then man-to-man. And look at Keller having to guard the big guy down low.
A mismatch. Keller holds his own. I think he got popped in the face, though.
It looked like he had taken a punch in an MMA fight there. His neck jerked back.
We've seen Keller in playoff situations get bloodied up before. Would not be new territory for Judah.
See if they can get Keegan Morris a shot. Like I said, he is a great shooter.
There it is. Turnaround Jay, short corner. Zumberg skies in, second level rebound.
Oh, now that possession was all about the matchups. They saw that Keegan had a smaller guard on him. They posted it up, got him the ball. He just couldn't finish the shot.
Morris fades back. They were going to send the double, and that's foul 2 now on Washington.
Yep, and
not a lot there.
I don't think he can go to the bench. I think he can pull him off of Singleton.
Might have been his hands got trapped inside on the body that time, but Jason. Washington's got 9 of the 13 right now for the Polar Bears. Gonna need him to stay out there for his scoring as Morris deflects it to himself. Keegan. Back to Julian, transition triple, a little firm.
Yeah, just didn't look good when he left his feet there. Not sure if he had complete control of that ball, because that's a weird looking rotation for Julian.
Off the drive, the turnaround, I think that was a lob for Zumberg. That's what he said, and it works.
Yeah, I'm not giving a rebound there. I think it was a pass.
Academy back up by 3. Singleton now gets the Washington detail. Julian trying to go to work. Jason sat down nicely.
Yeah, that was excellent defense there.
Two-man game. Keller left side picked up his bounce. Jason overshoots that one. A little gamble. To the floor goes Washington. And to the offensive rebounding game sets up Bowie for that shot. Polar Bears come up empty.
Keegan's just the opposite. He's an outside-in player. He's more comfortable behind the three-point line than the mid-range game. Boy, I would try to get Julian off of Jason, wouldn't you, with those 2 fouls?
They're going to let their all-time career leader in points, rebounds, just come out and play his game.
Got to have a lot of faith in him.
Zumberg hands off. Singleton off of the screen. It's a little short-armed. Now here comes Judah Keller. Morris steps in long 2, bucket.
Like you said, he likes it more a little deeper.
Academy breaks the pressure. Perez, tough catch, and he won't make it. Let's take you back to the other end for this last mid-range, Jay.
Boy, great body control there. Saw a bigger defender, pulled up about 16 feet away and knocked it down. Maybe that gets Morris going.
He averages about 8 points per game right now. He's just got those 2. As Washington darts to the cup, sandwiched between defenders, and it weighed on him.
It was a great backdoor play.
Meanwhile, Jason coast to coast.
Transition bucket there again, as both of these stars for each team trying to take over.
And I love that they're both matched up with one another here defensively. It's going to make it tough on Washington.
Hey, the matchup I like now is Cale Bailey with the big guy Zumberg trying to guard him.
From the elbow, double figures now for Washington. Julian heating up here offensively. He has really been standing out in the second. Clock spinning under a minute to go. Back to the logo goes Jason Singleton. Coach Worsler wants to see him start in the hands of one of their youngsters.
It looks like they're... Oh, that's an offensive foul.
Yeah, no question about that one. Judah Keller lining up the student section here for Margaretta. Beat him to the punch, got there first, and then Jason just tried to just bully ball his way. Big elbow, I think, into the chest of Keller as well. And that kid, he needs an ice bath, it seems like, routinely after competition.
Well, I was going to say they're sleeveless uniforms, but he wears his, his pride on his sleeve, and he is just one tough character. And like you said, going to Findlay, All-Ohio first team. Oh, yeah, by the way, 1,000 yards rushing and 10 touchdowns on the offensive side, too.
Bonafide stud in both sports. Easily could have played college basketball. But he misses the target here with this pass for Cale Bailey.
Yeah, he's had a couple passes that are unlike him. Cale had not cleared the defender there and got good enough separation. You'd think they're going to play for the last shot here. Great opportunity to use a Jake Boy or somebody else to come out. You'd still have 2 fouls to commit.
Just 2 team fouls each side here in the second stanza.
I would assume they're going to try to take the ball out of Singleton's hands and run a double team at him.
Said it'll be his first triple try. Not even close. Rebounded by Bowie. And that's launched out of bounds to end the second quarter. 1-point game here at the half, as we expected. It was a tight one through 3 quarters last year. And in this Elite 8 matchup, we're getting much of the same here in 2026. We got a couple commercials coming your way. When we come back, we will have your first half stats, highlights, and of course, second half action from the Eagles' Nest, all on the way on the OH Report.
Danny's Cafe Rossford. Lights on, crowded. College hoops, let it begin. Big screens glowing every play. From tip-off nights to St. Patrick's Day. Green beer flowing on.
We're live outside Danny's, and the big headline is on the menu. Lake Erie Yellow Perch emergency has folks concerned.
Fresh Lake Erie Yellow Perch.
Danny style.
Danny's Cafe Rossford, real Lake Erie perch, best in Ohio.
Maumee Bay Turf Center, a leader in synthetic sports surfaces as well as natural field construction, maintenance, and renovation. Maumee Bay Turf is part of Turf Nation, the most trusted source in the synthetic turf industry, including creating the surface for the biggest game in pro football. From professional, college, and high school sports to recreation and commercial projects, check them out at MaumeeBayTurfCenter.com and see our large collection of finished projects and services. Maumee Bay Turf Center, we build better.
Local sports deserve to be done right. We're built for the communities that support the game. This isn't about one season. Every season matters because every game tells a story. And those stories don't stop at the final buzzer. We're here for every moment, big or small. Watch anytime, anywhere, on your schedule. And it's always free to watch. This is the future of local sports. This is the OH Report.
You're enjoying Regional Championship Basketball, a Sunday matinee edition, thanks to our generous sponsors, NAMI Ohio, the state's voice on mental illness. If you need a commercial to showcase your business or promote that you're hiring, think of BS Media Productions, the most affordable, high-quality production company in North Central Ohio and beyond. Check out their Facebook page in the description below. Ace Lawn Care is offering a one-time special for all new customers. Sign up for the 2026 season of fertilization by ordering the Gold Package, and Ace will upgrade you to the Premium Package at no additional charge. And Lou says, go Polar Bears. Maumee Bay Turf. It's simple. They build better. St. Patrick's Day weekend is coming up pretty soon. If you're up in the Rossford area, heck, you might even want to travel for this. They're going to have an awesome party going on. They'll have a DJ. They'll have morning festivities beginning at 8 a.m. at Danny's of Rossford. Chris and I will be back with your first half stats in 47 seconds. Get a cold drink, get settled in. Your second half action after the halftime report is up next. It's halftime here inside the Eagles Nest on the fabulous campus of Big Walnut High School as we welcome you back inside for your halftime show presented by Maumee Bay Turf. Great game going right now. Columbus Academy with the slimmest of leads, 18-17 over Margaretta, the winner, of course, advancing to the state Final Four. I'm Brian Skronsky, my partner this afternoon, Chris Bliley. And really slow start for both of these offenses today. Second quarter definitely picked up in a major way, but we've seen a little bit of specialties from both sides. Academy with their defense, Margaretta, that high-flying transition offense, and right now we're almost at a stalemate. Both teams with just within 1 point of each other.
I think if you're Coach Keller right now, you got to be thrilled. You're only down one. Granted, you jumped out to an early lead, then all of a sudden a 10-point run. But to get through basically the last 7 minutes of the first half with your inside presence, Tyson Bailey on the bench.
Sure.
Jake Boyd did a great job. Went up high, grabbed 2 rebounds. I think he created a turnover on a double team. So I think for a team that plays 5 guys for the majority of the games that are close, they got some quality minutes from Jake Boyd. And then I think you could say the other thing, Coach gave them a little bit of ball handling and some defensive pressure for Columbus Academy.
And likely never anticipated that he would check into a game of this magnitude this season, but that's the case here. Again, the Vikings down 6 players off their usual roster, and here it is by the numbers, as you would anticipate, Chris. I mean, it's basically identical across the board. Margaretta has 1 extra basket, but 3 extra free throws for Columbus Academy. Neither team has attempted very many threes. Haven't hit from long range on either unit either.
Like you said, statistics pretty even. The thing that sticks out, and you don't see it there, are the individual fouls. The 2 big Tyson Bailey, he's big in that he is your post presence, and they have 2 big guys down low. He has 3 fouls. The other thing is your best player, your guy who's got 11 of the 17, has 2.
Yeah, that's a great point. Julian Washington, that player, and then Bailey will have 3 fouls. Be interesting to see if he gets the third quarter start, if Coach Keller wants to keep him out of the mix for as long as possible, considering the game is so close right now. A lot of decisions still to be made. A good chess match going between 2 fantastic coaches.
Yeah, I think Coach Keller, Coach Meisler, the rest of his staff over there, and Coach Keller right now, he's down there getting into his kids. This is a big-time pep talk. Maybe the most important halftime pep talk he's given in his long career of over 300 victories. I'm sure he would tell you, and it's as somebody who's coached, and Joe Baylog's coached. Joe's coached so many games that he just went off the cuff. But I think when you get to this moment, you don't get there very often, and you want to make sure you know what to say. So I'm sure this is something that Coach Keller's thought about for a long time, and he got his point across to his team.
It's almost been 100 years since they've gone to state. However, they've played in big games. 3 consecutive regional appearances for the Bears, breaking through here to the Elite 8 this season. So you talked about the staff over there. They've played in some big-time electric atmospheres. Mansfield Senior last year, the game that they met in the Sweet 16 a season ago, and they competed very well in that against the Columbus Academy team that ended up going for 29 consecutive wins before losing in the state final.
And I also didn't mention of Mike Rafesnyder, who's just outside your picture right now in the huddle, but he's been a long-time coach in the area. His son was a D1 basketball player at Army, played for Coach Keller at Margaretta, and he brings a world of knowledge, too, to the game.
Let's take a quick look at just the Sweet 16 here for Division 5. Of course, there's only one more game that needs to be decided. That's going on right now. So the winner is going to be West Muskingum. That'll be the matchup in Dayton. Summit Country Day, Lutheran East have already punched their tickets into the Final Four as well.
I don't know much about Muskingum. I know they beat a traditional powerhouse in football, Ironton. Some kids down there that when they get on the football field, they play like Judah Keller. I mean, they are some hard-nosed kids.
I did see in a regional semifinal game that they had to hit a buzzer beater.
Oh, wow.
For the win. Shout out to Storied Rivals, had a lot of different angles of that.
So Washington opens up on Singleton with those 2 fouls, and Tyson Bailey back into the game as both teams have their starters back in.
I think this is a great strategy. You got to go right at him. Try to pick up that 4th one early as they muscle their way inside, but Zoomberg unable to connect. A lot of contact here for Keller, who gets swatted, at least hit at the rim, but he'll have 2 free throws coming up.
Well, I tell you what, Judah plays with, he's just fearless. I mean, he takes this in. He knows Zoomberg's going to be there. And it's that kind of effort that drew the foul. If you take that in and you're not sure about it, they're probably not calling that foul.
Halfway in and then loops out here for Judah Keller.
Chance to tie it up.
Senior, over 1,000 points scoring in his career. He's got 4, and he'll remain at that spot. Mitchell with a rebound. Singleton, this is where he's at his best. Picking up the 3rd foul now on Washington early.
Coach Keller pleading right now, and Judah didn't argue it. Singleton was knocked off balance after that.
Lobbed in, tipped out, and it's going to be a turnover for Columbus Academy. Washington pitches to the corner. Here's Keller for 3.
Maybe we broke the ice from behind the arc.
It's a big shot for Judah Keller. Got him pumped up, and now a jump ball tie-up. Possession arrow is going to give it right back to the Bears after this shot right here, the first 3 of the afternoon.
Wouldn't have been the guy I had pinned down making that first one. I would have thought Julian or Keegan or Kale, but he's not afraid to take him.
Washington all by himself.
Now, how did he get that open? Little 5-0 run to start here.
Perez with the lob inside. Washington had to lay off of that.
Well, and you had Tyson Bailey also had to lay off of it, both of them there.
Lead trimmed back down to 2. 2-man game, far wing. Keller, quick step. Another 3, they just hit. Second bomb from the corner, plus another coming up at the free throw line for Cale Bailey.
How about maybe a 4-point play the hard way?
I'm not sure there's ever an easy way to get a 4-point play, baby. Check that out. Especially with that big fella rumbling right into your dining room. Come on. Knocks it down. Washington with the read, picked it off easily. That one well undercooked. And then poked out by Perez on the pass.
Margaretta trying to match the little run that the Vikings went on early in the first quarter.
Off the inbound, they'll get a quick jump shot here. So Cale Bailey starting to find his stride.
Yes, he is.
Largest lead for either side. It's ballooned up to 8.
And when you're able to apply that full court pressure and still get back and not give up an easy basket, that can be deflating on an offense.
Singleton looking to track down his long miss. Now Washington, a huge 3. All of a sudden, 3 triples here in the first 2 minutes for the Bears. Coach Worsler gotta take a timeout to try to calm things down.
I think whatever Coach Keller had to say sunk into his crew out there. They were passing up some of those 3-point shots in the first half, looking for better shots. And maybe you and I both said, yeah, we maybe weren't surprised that there were no threes made. It was just there wasn't many taken. They're starting to take them now.
Here's all the buckets for the Bears here in the third quarter. They've done it in a variety of ways, but I think what you notice that stands out, not a lot of defense, no hand really in the face of the jump shooter right there. That's a nice move by Cale to get to his spot. And then for Washington, if you're going to back up that much space, and you almost have to when he's coming down like a freight train.
Well, let's talk about their defense. We said they had given up averaging 41 for the season, 17-point first half. This is 14 points Margaretta has scored in, I'm waiting for the clock, under 4 minutes.
Just an absolute flurry for the Bears to start things off. And they've captured the imagination of the community right now. Everybody.
In 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And right now, these next 2 to 3 minutes for the Vikings could be their season. You know, if Margaretta throws another 5 or 6 points up on the board and has a 16, 17-point lead, I don't know if you're going to come back against a quality team like Margaretta down that.
Yeah, that's a great point, and starting to turn up the Bunsen burner here in terms of the defensive effort. Nice ball movement to the cup. Zuber can't hit. Washington can secure a rebound, and he'll push 3-on-2. Oh, the hezzy! What a move!
Cale Bailey. Here's that length of Margaretta. They have got great length on those guards outside.
Slick move, missed by Perez, but Mitchell Zumberg's got his back. Bailey taking over. That bucket puts him in double figures.
Where was Cale Bailey the first 16 minutes?
Something lit a fuse under that young man's offensive game. Oh, blocking foul. A lot of boo birds coming out here wearing polar bear shirts.
Well, and that's a situation where he went little Euro step. He kind of went with a swim move. And if Tyson doesn't have his hands up and he has him down, the ball just goes over his head, and he may give up a layup. Another big time here for Jake Boy.
So Tyson Bailey heads over to the sideline. 4 fouls. And we've got another one on Margaretta. So go on Keegan.
10th on the Polar Bears now as a team, 3rd in the quarter.
Bears with the zone look right now. Zumberg, one-on-one, looking to go at Bailey. Sets up Singleton. And the Vikings still have not hit a 3. They'll get an offensive board, though. And 2 shots for Singleton.
Take a look here. I think Morris tried to sell that.
Yeah. Wasn't much contact initially. Morris made it look as though there was a little bit more. Now Jason hits the first free throw. He's been to the line quite a few times so far tonight.
Yeah, he right now can't find a shot from three. He's struggled from three.
It hasn't necessarily been a big part of his weaponry. Coach Keller with a timeout.
Struggling to get the ball in bounds, and so he uses one there as I think he'll still have 3 remaining. But how about Cale Bailey in this third quarter? You don't see a 4-point play very often, but Cale got one. And again, good players, when they see the ball go through the hoop, especially when you're a perimeter-oriented player. There's the 3.
Yeah, he's been such a huge difference maker here in the quarter.
And that midair had to make an adjustment. He couldn't shoot it from his pocket. Kind of pulled the ball over to the right. And there's Julian getting in the act saying, Cale, anything you can do, I can do better.
That was the prettiest one in my estimation. And when you hit threes,
yeah,
you're going to have to come out and defend. And there's the last couple points that we've saw from Bailey. Really lifting this squad right now offensively is Margaretta in the driver's seat.
So now 2-2-1 pressure here for Columbus Academy. Great job getting it into the middle.
Another point opportunity coming up for Washington.
Exactly how you go it. You look sideline, middle, reverse. They hit the deep sideline. Now you're going 3-on-2. You get it to Julian. Julian can look to the opposite side where there'd be a wide open guy, but when you're a University of Dayton commit, you leave no doubt and finish it yourself.
Dude's got 18 points of the 37 right now.
And that's a 20-point half a quarter. We've only played a half a quarter.
Similar to what we saw at College of Worcester in that fourth quarter last night between Euclid and Massillon.
Yes.
That was awesome. Singleton domineers, got his pocket picked. 2-on-3, Washington. Would have been huge.
Oh, that would have brought the house down. Right now, the Vikings having problem when Margaretta makes a basket and they're getting in that pressure, that is giving them fits right now.
Zumberge with the pitch out, deflected. Morris with some fast, active hands.
Well, and how much they miss Gabriel Davis Ray right now.
He was probably the most athletic kid on the team, so minus him today, it's made a big difference for a Vikings team that has not lost since early January.
And they're going to say it went off a polar bear.
Slapped out of bounds by the Bears. A little frustration. You sense it a bit with Singleton this afternoon. He's only got 8 points. So that ball launches up to Dunkel, and now Jason from long range can't seem to get that dialed, and he's 0 for from downtown.
And smart play there by Keegan Morris. Instead of trying to grab it, he tapped it to Cale Bailey for the rebound.
Clock spinning, under 3 to go here in this third quarter. Bears have had a monster frame. Trailed by 1 coming into the second half. As Singleton comes out to meet Washington, who hits him with a crossover to the cup.
Just couldn't finish.
Just does rattle out. Meanwhile, Singleton going to get back to the free throw line. That's where he's been making all his hay.
Boy, again, a chance for the Polar Bears to get it. I think their largest lead is 14. That would have gotten them to 16. Washington had a chance at a three-pointer to make it 17 earlier.
It's going to be the second foul on Judah Keller.
3 for 3 are the Vikings from the free throw line this half, and now 9 for 11. That's keeping them in the game.
Most of it's been Singleton. Perez blocks. Oh, a late whistle on Washington.
And
ouch.
That is 4 on Julian Washington. And that's going to bring Jackson Bone into the game.
And we've got the benefit of slow motion, and even in real time you can tell that's all ball, Chris.
Yeah. But look at it, offensive rebound. That offensive rebound now gets your star on the bench with 4 fouls.
Perez looking to go 2 for 2. It's a quality trip, and the charity stripe, as you said, it's keeping that heartbeat thumping right now for Columbus Academy.
Well, now it's Cale Bailey time. I'll tell you what, though, Jackson Bone and Mr. Boy out there, they'd start for a lot of teams in the Sandusky Bay Conference. So, they're playing behind 5 really good starters.
The pull-up front lid, rebound to Perez. See if Singleton can start really activating now with Washington on the bench. He attacks at Judah. And a loose ball foul on Perez.
And there's Jake. You always find him, or was that, Jake, you always find him around the ball.
Foul number 55, Perez.
And both teams will be in the bonus for the final 2 minutes, as that's the 4th team foul. And as you would suspect, they're dialing up the pressure. It looks like it's full court man-to-man, so Margaretta should just clear it out and let Judah bring it over. That's what they do. I tell you what, right now, I think if you can get to the 4th quarter with a double-digit lead, I would take it. Jackson Bone down the lane, no. And what I was going to say is they had a guard with Perez trying to guard him. I would back that dribble up and say, come guard me, Perez. And Ronaldo's, he's moved his feet. He's been good.
Vikings still have not hit a three-pointer, Ruby, with the latest miss.
18 boards now as they lead at 18-17.
Foul on Singleton will lead to free throws here for Margaretta.
Yeah, I was going to comment on this before Julian went out, but I wonder, although Julian is all about the team, I wonder if he took a little bit personally that Singleton was on the Mr. Ohio basketball list and Julian Washington wasn't. He's certainly showing today he deserved to be on that list.
Well, unfortunately, the rule is that you can only have 1 player per district.
Yeah.
And, of course, Cam Elwer had to be on that list.
Yes, he did.
So Julian just had the unfortunate regional placement where Margaretta is, but he's very deserving. His numbers, obviously, they're better in every statistical category for Jason other than assists. He pulls down a rebound. Singleton, though, is an awesome player. Love to have both of them, but he loses it here. Morris keeps it alive.
And again, they could play for the last shot if they want.
Jackson launches the lefty a little off target.
4 turnovers to go. They only had 4 in the first half, so they've doubled their turnovers here, have the Vikings.
Floater tipped out. Singleton really struggling everywhere but the free throw line. But he's able to just pull that right out of the back pocket of Keller. Singleton, left hand, got it to go. Timeout Academy.
30-second timeout from Academy.
Great take there. And again, I think you always want to keep attacking. I think there's been a couple possessions here where Margaretta maybe could have pulled it out and made a bigger defender have to come guard a guard with good ball skills. But, they still lead by 10, and they're going to get the last shot here. This could be, momentum has kind of swung back over to the Vikings, but a basket here would be huge for Margaretta. I'm sitting here thinking now, I'm thinking Julian and Tyson start the 4th quarter on the bench. I don't know if you want them out there for the final 8 minutes. Maybe you come out, and if they start on a 4-0 run, then maybe you insert them. But that's a long time to play without picking up a foul.
They're in the driver's seat, pole position right now, double-digit lead. And they've got the basketball, some pressure being assessed here with 26 seconds to go in the 3rd. Keller double, gives it up immediately to Jackson. And right back to him.
mission accomplished. Get it across half court first, and now get the last shot. Don't turn it over and give up an easy bucket the other way.
Backdoor cut. Tough catch. Keller left hand wasn't able to put it in, but Morris steps in for a huge bucket to close out the third in style.
Momentum back to the Polar Bears on that Morris big-time bucket.
We'll be back with Money Time. Regional champion will be crowned in 8 minutes.
Danny's Cafe Rossford. Lights on, crowded. College hoops, let it begin. Big screens glowing every play. From tip-off nights to St. Patrick's Day. Green beer flowing.
We're live outside Danny's, and the big headline is on the menu. Lake Erie Yellow Perch emergency has folks concerned.
Fresh Lake Erie Yellow Perch.
Danny's style.
Danny's Cafe Rossford, real Lake Erie perch, best in Ohio.
A trip to the state Final Four. Just 8 minutes away for one of these two teams as we welcome you to Money Time here at the Eagles Nest. One of these squads is going to walk away with a fat stack full of gold medals. The other will be regional runners-up.
And as we suspected, Tyson Bailey, Julian Washington start the fourth quarter on the bench.
Straightaway three. And an offensive foul. Push off for Perez. That's how he was able to get the basketball.
How about the play from Jake Boy right now? He's done as much in this game as half of his teammates, and he hasn't put up a bucket, but just solid minutes here from Boy.
Jackson Bond brings it back out. He'll drive middle, spins back the other way.
Boy, they can run clock here.
Keegan Morris pulls up, elbow extended. Tapped into the hands of Singleton.
Good shot there for Keegan. He normally knocks that one down. The second of the Twin Towers getting ready to check in. Zumberg at the table.
Tishkoff's going to start right side. Wants to get it to Singleton, trying to post up. Spins baseline, forced that one up.
What a great defense from Bone.
And for Jason Singleton right now, it just looks like he's trying to get the foul every time instead of just shoot the basketball. As that's lost on the way up for Bond. And we got a little track meet going on now. Set up for Perez, it's blocked, but he's fouled.
I think that was Cale Bailey who said, "Get that out of here."
Yeah, a lot of contact, and the swat off the backboard was Cale Bailey, but the contact from Morris.
And you wonder if the big guy getting a little tired out there, Perez, that one didn't use his legs much there from the free throw line. They were a perfect 5 for 5 in the second half.
The good news for Coach Keller, though, as long as this stays at a double-digit game, you're very comfortable having Bailey and Washington sit over next to you.
Yeah, I think it was 13 or 14 when Julian left. They actually built the lead when Tyson left.
A lot on the shoulders here of these guards right now to break the pressure, but they will here.
Oh, and again, Jackson Bone maybe just trying to make a little too much happen there at one time. He is not afraid. He is a competitor out there. I believe he was the starting quarterback for the football team.
Bears showing a little bit different defensive structure right now as we get a block shot for Keller, and he taps it to himself.
Great play from Judah. check their defense here. And again, Morris can dribble it out here, and Zumberg cannot guard him.
They'll get the switch with Singleton. Now he's on Keller, and I think you're right. Maybe just pull it back out to the logo.
Pull it back out with that. You know, they're going to switch it off then when they get it out top and bring a defensive-minded player to them.
Morris doubled, looking for some options, kicked. But over 2 minutes already off the clock here in this fourth quarter. Only 1 point has been put on the board, that by Academy.
Clock is your friend right now, Polar Bears. Tough spot to inbound it to. Bone, very nice pass there, handled that double team that came his way with ease.
Now here's Morris, bounce pass down low, Keller, bully ball, too strong.
Sure was. Polar Bears keep attacking though. They, again, could have run some clock there, but they keep attacking.
Nice low dribble. Singleton able to get to one of his favorite spots.
Just their 10th made basket. They have 12 made free throws, 10 made hoops.
13 points now for Singleton, and out of the whirly bird. Keller now missed 2 in a row in tight.
And Julian Washington going to check back into the game.
Big ovation, as you would suspect, from Polar Bear Nation. Their all-time leading scorer, rebounder, and as you detailed, just an all-around great kid.
Yep. See who they put him on defensively here, as they went and got Jackson Bone. So Tyson Bailey remains on the bench. Bone gave them some good minutes.
Singleton wants to clear it out here right side and establish Zumberg on the block. They'll swing it. Here's a 3, Hitchcock. And Washington comes in, instantly gets a rebound.
Right now, they've found something that they like there with Dunkel and Titchkoff, but he hasn't been able to knock the shot down. Now you can spread the floor. You've got 3 dynamic ball handlers out there with Bailey, Keller, and Julian Washington. I would be running some clock right now, and it will open up a backdoor layup.
There it is. All right on cue, Mr. Bliley.
And they have their 7th made basket of the second half, matching what they did the entire first half.
Oh, blocking foul. Jake Bowie doesn't agree with that one.
I agree with him. Sure looked like. Now, Jake, phenomenal actor. You know, there's no doubt that he was going to go down. He sold it. What he's got to watch is the animation after slamming your hands down on the ground. You don't want to get teed up here. Love the kid's heart, though.
3rd foul on Jake. Keller flies in for the board.
He went up and just took that away. And again, bad matchups out here right now.
Oh, poked off of Washington's leg, and that's where Singleton really is elite.
Yes.
He allows you to feel like you've got the upper hand. He's on your hip, and then he does have go-go gadget arms right there. That man's got some limbs for days.
Only the 2nd turnover of the half, and now we have another player into the game who hasn't been out there much.
It's a dime from Bundy. Good-looking setup.
And the lead is inside 10 again at 9.
Zumberg now with 13 points. He and Singleton have combined for 28 of the 34.
Wow, Keller. That one was headed towards the Margaretta stands and made a nice catch on it.
No hesitation. Bailey can't hit. It's kept in bounds, but well done. Kind of a soft landing there off of Ruby. And here he is, swatted at the other end.
And
Morris got off him.
Yeah, he believes it went off the offensive player. Let's see if we can see that here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they got that one wrong.
100%.
Tyson Bailey back in.
Quick launch. Finally, the Vikings hit their first trifecta of the game. Trims it down to a 2-score difference. Singleton came flying by. We'll see if it costs him.
Again, I'm not shooting three-pointers here. I'm shooting layups or free throws.
Keller switched to the left. Really tough shot.
Sure was.
Singleton off the setup. Ruby cuts it to 2-score game again. 4-point difference. Timeout Bears.
Polar Bears hanging on right now. If somehow this game goes the other way, it won't be the final 2 minutes and 35 seconds of the game that won them. It's going to be between that 6-minute mark and 3-minute mark where maybe Margaretta had the advantage with the players, with the ball handlers out there, and they took some quick shots when they could have run another 15, 20 seconds off the clock each possession. Let's hope that's not the case if you're a Polar Bear fan. Columbus Academy, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you to take quick shots right now because the clock is their enemy.
Good looking run going on right now. 10-2 spurt here in the quarter. Off and running, and they've got the momentum right now, so it feels a little bit tense for Margaretta at this point.
Well, and quickly Singleton has gone from single digits right around halftime to 18 points here.
Polar Bear Nation rising up from their seats. Columbus Academy fans on our near side will greet them with a standing ovation of their own.
I still think if they spread the floor, they're going to get some easy looks on the help. Columbus Academy helping a lot on defense. Look for Cale Bailey, look for Keegan Morris, back cutting their defender.
Oh, Washington wasn't looking for it. Easy money. The theft by Bundy, and the easiest layup he's probably had all season, cuts it down to 2.
Yeah, and if you're Julian there, don't leave the backcourt. The ball should be in your hands.
Another gamble, loose, and it pays off for Academy. Wow.
Under 2 minutes to play.
Singleton lost it, kicks out, and Jason will come get it again. Fighting off the hand checks, but Morris ripped it away.
Wow, what a defensive play. 100 seconds remain. If you're Academy right now, you've got to take a couple fouls, Brian. You only have one team foul, and if you need to foul to get back in the game,
here's Tyson, had to pick up his bounce, and he drug the pivot foot.
10th turnover now on the Polar Bears.
That was a
3
biggie.
in the last 2 minutes. Margaretta only with 2 fouls, so certainly you don't want to give anything free at the bucket.
The second half has been a tale of 2 quarters. 24 points for Margaretta in the third. They've got just 1 basket in this fourth quarter as Singleton is fouled.
Good foul there by Morris. Only your team's 3rd foul.
Number 12, Morris.
Still 1 foul to give before they go into the bonus. Academy with 3 more fouls to give.
Zumberg looking to post up. Instead, up and under for the tie. It lips out. Boy, that would have been huge for Ruby. Meanwhile, Washington shovel pass to Bailey. We're down to 45 ticks. Vikings might want to consider
they got
those fouls now.
Yep. I think you'll see on the sideline out of bounds. And boy, I was talking with Coach Giaffrey on my ride up here, and well, they're not going to use a timeout. How big are these sideline out of bounds plays in these close games?
Big dunk. Huge momentum swinging back in favor of the Polar Bears, down to 35 seconds to go and up by 4.
Two-handed flush by JW.
Oh, but right back the other way. Doesn't take long for the Vikings to respond. Full timeout, Columbus Academy. They've only got one left.
And you probably, they're going to go 1 or 2 traps and foul here. Two-point game. You want to hold that timeout in case after fouling, if you don't get the turnover and they make 2 free throws, you want to have a foul to stop the clock on a made basket if you're the Vikings. They still have one more foul to give, which again, I think you'll try to deny the basketball in. If it gets in, probably run a double team at the ball handler and foul right away. That's what they tried to do last time, and Julian Washington was aware of it, and basket cut right down Main Street.
How about the 2 stars of the game that we spotlighted? Consecutive buckets here. Julian with 21, 20 points now for Jason Singleton. So as advertised, 2 elite D1 prospects saving their stuff for these big moments here in crunch time.
Got Rowdy the Polar Bear in the house.
It's getting rowdy over on the far side too.
Right now, 75% of the fans in attendance are on their feet. Big baseline out of bounds play here.
We'll get it into Washington. Clock spinning down to 20, and Singleton ripped it away and ties it up. Unbelievable play by the Mr. Basketball finalist.
Now they don't want to foul.
Singleton comes over for the double. Keller back to Julian. Down to 5 ticks. Here's Washington from the foul line. 5! But they say no good.
They call a foul out top.
So deafening in here, could not hear the whistle.
They've changed the team fouls. It was just 5 and 3 a minute ago. Now it's 3 and 3. Now Academy is going to be able to actually let the ball come inbounds, 1 dribble foul.
While they work this out, let's show you.
You can see the official had the hand up for the reach-in. I think it was on Singleton. So before the shot was made, the official had his right hand up.
Almost one of those premier moments in a career for Julian Washington. But the foul on the floor.
Yeah, 4.6, 4.8, where are we at?
Little under 5 seconds to go here.
You certainly have a chance to get the ball into Julian and just have him do what they did there. You would have to think a foul is coming, though, on his first dribble. I wonder if you wouldn't consider a little back screen and trying to lob it to Julian near the basket, where maybe he can get a shot off without getting fouled. If he misses the shot, they won't have time to get it down court to get a shot of their own. You take the risk of trying to throw it to an open guy out near half court that maybe you get a pick and a steal and they go the other way for the game winner. But this ball has got to be in Julian Washington's hands.
Jason Singleton averages about 5 steals per game. He just had the largest, perhaps, of his career.
And it's a baseline out of bounds. So maybe you get a quick screen, get a guy open.
Trying to get the lob for Washington. It's tipped away, and now Academy has a timeout. We'll see if they put more time on the clock, showing 1.4 right now, but it is awarded to the Vikings, their final.
And Julian's down. I'm not sure if that was after the shot attempt. Let's see. He's kind of bent over there.
Take a look at what just happened. Here it is.
Oh, wow. Wow. He took a big-time elbow. You're probably, with the 4 fouls, not having him in the game anyways here.
Yeah, he's getting looked at right now by the athletic trainer and kind of walking back towards the locker room, getting some nose plugs stuffed up there. He's bleeding.
What you worry about with that hit is a concussion. That was straight to the melon.
Can certainly affect your breathing as well.
Yes.
So they're going to roll with 1.4 seconds here, Chris. Obviously, it's enough time for a catch, one dribble, and a shot.
Yeah, or you take some risk here, but you definitely have a definitive size advantage. Do you put Zumberg under the basket and try to throw it down there and let him try to catch it and score it? If you throw it too far, you're bringing it right back here, though, for a baseline out of bounds. Coach Rafe Schneider out there right now looking for blood on the floor.
It was a risky play, but my colleague Joe Balog showed me 2 nights ago a game winner in the state of Ohio where they threw it off the backboard and had their big man catch it off of there,
Yeah,
off the inbound. That's
a
tough throw.
You better have the quarterback throwing it because, again, the last thing you want to do is right now you've got a chance to win this game. You don't want to all of a sudden turn that over and give it right back to Margaretta.
So Washington will be sidelined for this final play defensively.
I wonder if they're going to put time back on the clock. That play had to take at least 2.5, 3 seconds. But the clock operator actually stopped the clock before the whistle because I think he saw what had happened.
Certainly felt like Academy should have at least 2 seconds.
Yep. Give the Vikings, though, a ton of credit. I mean, they were close to dead and buried, down 14, and they came back, storming back.
Outscored by 13 points in the third. They have returned the favor, outscoring Margaretta by 12 here in the final stanza.
And Julian going to come back into the game, so he's feeling okay. Yeah, if you can, you prefer nobody catch it on their side of half court, and then also have them catch the ball moving towards the Margaretta basket, not their own. It'd be interesting to see if they don't run something similar to what Margaretta ran, and that is to maybe, although you wouldn't run Singleton out of bounds right now, you want him to catch it.
Ruby's looking to get it to him. Instead, he'll have to come out to Bundy. And that is how the fourth quarter will come to a close, folks. Regulation in the books. We've got more than money time coming up. Overtime here from the Eagles' Nest with the regional title on the line. Where else would you rather be here on this Sunday afternoon?
Maumee Bay Turf Center, a leader in synthetic sports services as well as natural field construction, maintenance, and renovation. Maumee Bay Turf is part of Turf Nation, the most trusted source in the synthetic turf industry, including creating the surface for the biggest game in pro football. From professional, college, and high school sports to recreation and commercial projects, check them out at MaumeeBayTurfCenter.com and see our large collection of finished projects and services. Maumee Bay Turf Center, we build better.
Unbelievable ending here at Big Walnut High School. Trip to the Final Four on the line. And we've got overtime, Chris, between the Polar Bears and Columbus Academy. 4 minutes to determine who will move on to Dayton.
4 fouls, each for Julian Washington and Tyson Bailey. 4 fouls for Charles Ruby for Columbus Academy. And you'd think all the momentum right now on the side of the Vikings. Margaretta team got to feel like they took a gut punch there towards that end. Couple costly turnovers in the final 2 minutes.
And then also some new life here.
Yes.
getting a quick break and starting off this overtime session with Washington
What
off the
a
back
set.
straight. Gorgeous play design by the Margaretta staff to open that up for Julian.
And it's this defense that kind of helped them build that lead. Only problem with that defense is Tyson Bailey's at the back end. If they throw over top of it, could be looking at a 2-on-1.
Sternberg pitches it back out here. Singleton pops a three and hits.
Wow, they have come all the way back from 14 to take the lead.
Second made three-pointer for Academy, both by Jason Singleton over the last several minutes. Oh, how about that move by Keller? But that's the third time in a row he's been at point-blank range and just hasn't been able to put it through the bottom.
It was a pretty sweet move there.
Perez getting set to check back in as Singleton got it poked away.
Turns it over.
Get an official timeout. Not exactly sure why.
I'm not either. Something on the floor.
Could be Washington might have a little bit of blood coming out his nose. Actually, I think it was a piece of candy or gum or something spilled out onto the floor.
M&M.
I wouldn't have been above, maybe snacking on that thing. Not what the athletic trainer decided to do. Almost 2 minutes already gone by. Fast-moving overtime session. It's Washington lobs too far out in front of Kale.
Just a little bit too much lead there. Had the right play designed.
Now Academy will inbound. Some full-court pressure applied by the Bears. We'll get it back into the hands of their Mr. Basketball finalist.
And William Bundy had a chance to take that wide open three, but he did not. He understands.
Down on the block, overshot. Ruby, though, comes in to save the day, an offensive rebound. Now Singleton and Keller going at it. It's going to be the fourth foul on the Bears.
Yep. Coach Steve Keller shouting some instructions to his son. Probably not the guy you want to send to the line. The next one will put them at the charity stripe.
Reach and foul Morris. A lot of contact on the body for Singleton and goes down the lane. Left is short. Perez. Another offensive board for the Vikes.
Yes.
And now they will send Charles Ruby to the free throw line. Big moment coming up here for the senior.
Yeah, these are big free throws. 13 of 16 from the charity stripe. And that one didn't look good. The heat, the pressure on these young student athletes right now is immense.
To make it a 2-point game, Ruby able to hit that one. Just 80 seconds to go here in overtime.
Possession arrow belongs to
Columbus Academy.
Yes, Columbus Academy. Well, they were looking back door and they got it.
The door left open. The Bears walk through. It's 49 each.
Right now, it's Jason Singleton's game. And I think they are going to play for one shot.
If you're Margaretta, you obviously don't want that to be the case here.
I love how they, I'll get away from it right now. That one's knocked away. Timeout. But what I was going to say, I'm watching Singleton talk to his coach there, and 10 years ago, that would have been a turnover as he's cupping the ball and bringing it back. But Oh, we've lost some lights here.
Luckily, there's a lot of great natural light that comes into the gym here at the Eagles Nest. And
hey, we got them back.
I think someone literally leaned up against the light switches. Because I see a lot of people looking over into that corner like,
Right,
come on, buddy.
I'd sneak out that double door and head to the men's room right now if it was me. So what do you like here, Brian? I mean, you play for the final shot, right?
I don't think Margaretta is going to allow that to happen, and that's got to be the conversation that's going down in the Polar Bears huddle, is trying to, at least if it's in the hands of number 5, that's got to be one of those fire situations. You must double team him at all costs.
I'm thinking Margaretta will allow them to take the final shot, but if Singleton's going to be the one to hold it, they're going to go take it out of his hands and then not let him get it back.
Because I think odds are good. If you double Jason, there's somebody open, and they're going to try to step up and be the hero, and you'll live with that if you're Margaretta, as long as it's not Singleton.
Absolutely. Singleton now with 25. Washington with 23.
It's been such a great battle, and Julian, he's taken on that responsibility of guarding Jason, and at the other end, too, Singleton's been on their star quite a bit.
Let's hope that the officials allow the players to decide this one, too.
Start with Ruby here right side. Run up Bundy with the basketball. Keller's got him. It's fumbling out of bounds. Margaretta gets the ball. A player that never anticipated playing today. Masasi, I don't even have his full name.
Yeah, he was added.
Wasn't even on the tournament roster. And he's out here trying to make this catch.
Well, and again, maybe led. That pass made a little bit too soon. He had not come off and freed himself from that screen, and he was anticipating that he'd be there, but he just didn't get there in time. And now a chance for the Polar Bears. Let's see if they can dial up a Julian Washington. We're kind of in the same scenario, Brian. They still have that one foul to give with only 3 fouls, but Washington, we thought, might have hit the game winner with 4.5 seconds to go, but it was waved off on a correctly called foul. So it will be interesting to see what happens here. You do have that foul to give. A pair of players out there right now as Perez has picked up his 4th foul to go along with number 2, Charlie Ruby. So those two you certainly don't want committing the foul. And Tyson Bailey and Julian Washington for the Polar Bears, and both of them played the entire 4th quarter with those 4 fouls.
Likely all boils down to this final possession. Margaretta looking to get it in to Washington. They do. Now skip pass for Keller, far side. Clock spinning down to 12 ticks. Here's Julian. Spinning his way to the cup, over Perez!
Almost a steal.
Singleton down to 2 seconds. Jason down the lane, sweeping, lays it up, and it drops as time expires.
Wow.
We've got more extra time coming.
If this was a book, it would be an all-time bestseller.
4 more minutes of basketball from the Eagles Nest, 51 apiece. What a game for the regional title.
Feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should. Feel like I should. Danny's Cafe Rossford. Lights on, crowded. College hoops, let it begin. Big screens glowing every play. From tip-off nights to St. Patrick's Day. Green beer flowing.
We're live outside Danny's, and the big headline is on the menu. Lake Erie Yellow Perch emergency has folks concerned.
Fresh Lake Erie Yellow Perch.
Danny's style.
Danny's Cafe Rossford, real Lake Erie perch. Best in
More extra basketball at Big Walnut in this Division 5 regional championship game. We've played 5 quarters. It's not enough. Both teams with the exact identical score. And again, it'll be the Bears starting with the basketball here in overtime 2. I'm Brian Skronsky, Chris Bliley, my partner, and this is just an extension of the 4th quarter. So the foul situation will remain as Washington tips it in.
Wow! Are you kidding me?
Big play there for Julian, and the Stars are shining right now here in Sunbury.
It's become a shootout at the OK Corral between Singleton and Washington right now.
And to my point, it will be free throws here for the Vikings. They will not reset. So moving forward, Singleton and the Vikings, 2 free throws on every defensive foul.
They were 2 for 2 in that first overtime from the foul line.
Big miss.
Big time miss. You get on those odd numbers, the likelihood of a second or a third overtime become less likely.
Confident stroke with the second. Vikings look like they're going to just apply some token pressure here on Morris.
Keller, rock solid with the basketball.
Hasn't done much in terms of scoring, 7 points.
They just tried to run that lob play for Julian again that they got last time. They have scored a lot of points on the backdoor and the lob play.
Keller again, right to the doorstep and just cannot seem to get in. So frustrating for Judah Keller.
Yes.
4 times in a row he's made that exact spin move, got to his strong hand and just couldn't make it, Chris.
And the foul means we walk to the other end for free throws. The free throw disparity right now is big. Might be, I don't know Bundy's free throw percentage, but he's passed up a few shots maybe that he should have taken. Calmly knocks it down.
The senior at the line looking to even up the score and give them the lead. They will.
3 out of 4 now. All their points coming from the charity stripe in this second overtime.
Washington, quick move, hop step, left hand.
Boy, he makes that look so easy.
Just effortless the way that he glides to the cup.
And that time you had Perez with the 4 fouls. He didn't want to pick up number 5, so he kind of let Washington go to that left-handed finger roll.
Check it out one more time as they get the substitution into the game. Whoop! Just able to dart in any which direction at a moment's notice.
Trying to remember if I've seen those neon yellow electric shoes out of, maybe he brought them because they're OSHA approved. He brought them down here to Columbus.
Perez trying to go at Tyson Bailey. He's had 4 fouls since the early third.
Boy, Judah locked down that baseline drive there. Now Judah's got the help side in case Singleton goes baseline.
Singleton with a game high, team high now, 28 points, 29 for Julian. He's pretty good with his back to the basket, right at Washington and scores.
Big time bucket.
Julian, quickly, tried to zip it underneath and last touch by Bailey.
Turnover number 12.
Costly. So Columbus Academy back with the basketball. They'll break the pressure easily. Zumberg to Perez, back to him. 2-man game, and he's bent at the rim. Finishes it off, but skywalking was Washington for the block.
Now they need a 3.
Here it is. Money.
Oh! JW from deep.
Right on cue and a timeout spent by the Bears.
I'm looking at the fans in front of us here from Columbus Academy, and I know they want their Vikings to win, but they're watching a performance here right now from Washington, 32, and he has taken over in this latter part of the fourth quarter and overtimes.
He and Singleton have combined for 62 points.
You remember how much time left? Are we a minute and a half? 2? I forgot. About 2. So that's way too long to play for the last shot. Again, I look over here and say, still 3 team fouls on Columbus Academy. So, they've gone to the line 6 times in the 2 overtimes. Margaretta yet to go to the line in overtime. And they've gone to the line 22 times in the game to just 10 for the Polar Bears.
Winner advances to take on the Tornadoes of West Muskingum in the state Final Four. This the last game to be decided in the state of Ohio now, with the Division 7 game going final at Westerville South.
Boy, Tyson Bailey, that last, it was 2-on-1, and Tyson with 4 fouls was able to hold him off enough, make him make the extra pass where Julian Washington could come in and get the block, but the offensive stick back.
Deflected, Washington with the theft. Sleeks his way right hand, left side, missed it. And Keller called for the foul?
Let's look at this one. I think that's the right call.
Got it slowed down for you, so Washington would have been a tough finish.
Oh, yeah.
Just blew Singleton down to the floor.
And that goes the other way. If it was an offensive foul, at least it would have been a player control foul and you wouldn't have had free throws. But that was a push on the rebound. Oh, and they're going to stop right now. I believe it was Singleton who was pushed on the play.
Absolutely.
I think they're arguing that they have the wrong shooter. I believe it is the right shooter.
Well, Mitchell Zernberg was, to the naked eye, when we watched it, we thought he was who got fouled, but it comes right there.
It's Singleton.
So Coach Keller absolutely livid, but the officials got it right.
Nope, they got the right shooter. I know Coach Keller not happy now. That one up, that one in.
If Academy ends up pulling this out, free throws will have been their saving grace. Singleton, as we expected, Mr. Basketball nominee, strokes them both.
Polar Bears need to answer again.
They've been able to find Washington in the form of an answer here recently. He'll pull back for the mid-range, a little too much this time, and Perez with the defensive rebounds.
Well, they don't want to foul Singleton.
They do double him to try to take it out of his hands. Tough grab for Ruby.
Inside 50 seconds. Would think they'd bring a double, make him get rid of it. Again, you got Julian can't commit the foul. And Julian gonna take the foul.
Killer.
Julian just not thinking there. Don't know if he remembered he had 4 fouls.
I think he's played so long now, 3 quarters plus with the extra sessions. It must have slipped his mind.
And he took a pretty good hit on the head, too, at the end of regulation. But that's going to send Charles Ruby to the line. Ruby, that orange ball feeling like a 16-pound bowling ball right now.
Trying to make it a 3-point game here. Yes.
And now, who do you look to the shot here? Do you try to get a quick 2? I think I try to design a 3 here.
Right now it's Morris. They'll get it back to Keegan. Perez with a nice job of hedging. He'll pull up from deep, side iron. And now Perez gets it to Singleton as the clock's spinning down to 10 before the foul's committed. Vikings fans starting to feel the mojo now.
Yes, they are. They come all the way back from 14 down. And this one is going to sting in Castalia.
18 consecutive wins for the Vikings. No Gabriel Davis-Ray today. Anthony Penny, Charles Pizzotti, all not in the building.
They've made 21 free throws. Margaretta has shot 10. There is your difference.
Perez throws it away into the hands of Morris. He's going to have to hit this if they want a chance. And the follow with 1.9 seconds will lead to 2 free throws here for the Polar Bears.
Well, and so what you have here is Jake Boy make, and then if possible, a tip out and a launch at the bucket. Oh, Jake Boy, money. And now, I don't know how you draw this one up. Certainly if there's a coach who can come up with it, Coach Keller would be one of those guys.
It's been an all-timer here today at Big Walnut High School after the power outage in Columbus yesterday forced the game to be moved to a Sunday afternoon affair. The Polar Bears and Columbus Academy have provided the best game that I've seen all postseason.
Definitely. There's going to be some clips from this going in Travis's file for one shining moment.
To answer your question, it obviously has to be a striking miss, that it would be a long rebound that you can get into the hands of a shooter.
I got an idea. Get somebody with the Miami Heat right now, as they were throwing it off the glass trying to get Bam Adebayo the record.
So at least there's some tape video evidence out there that this is possible.
Well, the problem is it's going to be so hard to get the ball to come back outside the three-point arc without time running out.
Boy's a great free throw shooter, about 78%. This will be one of the few times in his career that he's asked to not make it. How do they try to miss? Off the backboard, you got to hit the rim. It appears he didn't know the rule. Now the Bears got to gamble and get a steal, but they need to reset the clock to 1.9.
Yeah, and I'm sure they had to have talked about that in the huddle. You know, got to hit the rim. I think he was just trying to hit the front of the rim and have it bounce back to him or back to somebody.
There it is, reset 1.9 seconds. Charles Ruby inbounds, and that's it. Columbus Academy has won 19 straight. They are headed back to Dayton
with a really gutsy performance there by Columbus Academy.
33 points from Jason Singleton. He unquestionably will be our MVP. We'll talk to him. We'll have both teams get their awards and medals, net cutting ceremony. Lots still to come here on our post-game show on the OH Report. Don't go anywhere.
and the big headline is on the menu. Lake Erie Yellow Perch emergency has folks concerned.
Fresh Lake Erie Yellow Perch. Danny's Cafe Rossford Real Lake Erie Perch, best in Ohio.
Maumee Bay Turf Center, a leader in synthetic sports services as well as natural field construction, maintenance, and renovation. Maumee Bay Turf is part of Turf Nation, the most trusted source in the synthetic turf industry, including creating the surface for the biggest game in pro football. From professional, college, and high school sports to recreation and commercial projects. Check them out at MaumeeBayTurfCenter.com and see our large collection of finished projects and services. Maumee Bay Turf Center. We build better.
Local sports deserve to be done right. We're built for the communities that support the game. This isn't about one season. Every season matters because every game tells a story. And those stories don't stop at the final buzzer. We're here for every moment, big or small. Watch anytime, anywhere on your schedule. And it's always free to watch. This is the future of local sports. This is the OH Report.
We return to the Eagles Nest for the trophy presentation, the medal awards for each of these two programs. Margaretta, your Division 5 regional runners-up. They are elites. They get here. They have an opportunity to win the game and come up just short. 3-point loss here, but Chris, you've seen them a bunch. What an awesome season here for the Polar Bears, and this one will sting in Castalia, as you mentioned, because it felt like they had this one in hand.
It sure did. Foul trouble plagued them pretty much the entire game, with Tyson Bailey having to go to the bench for a lot of the first half. Julian Washington picking up a second foul in the second quarter, going to the bench. Then both of them going to the bench late in the third quarter. Bailey midway through the third quarter. And when you think those minutes not out there, certainly could have been minutes where you took advantage of the matchups and built that lead. Give credit, though, to Jackson Bone and Jake Boy, who came in and played their hearts out. They made a lot of plays. And, the one thing I like against Margaretta, there were times there where they had matchups that maybe they could exploit when they had a 12 to 14-point lead, but instead of pulling the ball out and running the clock, true to what Coach Keller does, he kept attacking, and it just didn't work out. And there was another team that had a lot to do with that.
A lot of free throws hit for Columbus Academy. When we show you the final numbers, that will be the one that really stands out on the stat sheet. And just an all-time performance by Mr. Basketball finalist Jason Singleton.
Yeah, really, Singleton and Washington were just going back and forth late in the fourth quarter and both overtimes until Washington fouled out. And I know this is not the hardware that these seniors, actually it's the starters out there right now, as you see Cale and Tyson Bailey. Not the trophy they wanted, but they made their community proud.
The best stretch in the history of Margaretta basketball has been enjoyed over these last 4 seasons, but today in this celebration is about Columbus Academy and a Vikings team that came back from double digits to make it happen here today.
62-59, and boy, you think about the final 10 seconds of overtime number 1. Washington, with those 4 fouls, takes it into traffic, moves his body around up in the air to avoid a 5th foul, scores it at the bucket, but he's literally scored it 1 second too early, as they had time to get the ball into Singleton, and nobody wanting to commit a foul. Singleton showing why he is a Harvard commit, got his way into the lane and put a finger roll up that hung on the rim for about a half second, probably the longest half second that they've seen over in Margaretta, and it fell in, forcing the second overtime, where really they did it at the free throw line once we got to overtime, the second overtime.
Number 14, Will
I think unquestionably the top play will have to be that Julian Washington finish and then the immediate response by Singleton to
Yes.
force the second overtime session.
And again, I think you could say here, and we could say Margaretta a little bit fortunate that they didn't have a full complement of players today. As you said, they're missing a Big Ten commitment. But
Davis Ray will be playing football at Northwestern,
okay,
but
football.
he's
Okay.
still the best athlete on the team.
Right.
I think even Jason would say that.
Number 33, Mark Mason.
Margaretta with a large senior class, one that the community had hoped would get to this level and maybe one step further. But it's not going to diminish any of their accomplishments as they will lose Julian Washington, Judah Keller, Jackson Bone, Jake Boy, Keegan Morris, and I think maybe Tyler Johnson, maybe 6 seniors out there. And Miller, I forget Miller's first name, number 11.
Aiden
Miller, also a senior.
7 seniors for the Vikings as well. Here's 2 of them coming out to get the gold trophy for the second consecutive season. Columbus Academy will head to Dayton, looking to get 1 win more than they were able to collect in the tournament a season ago, where they came up just short in an all-time classic in the state title against the Lou.
And this is a tough time for Margaretta, but a classy move there. They keep their team out in order for them to get their trophy. And now that they got their trophy, they're going to go over and cut some nets. But now the Polar Bears will go into their locker room as they see their season come to an end.
We're going to take one more commercial timeout. When we come back, we'll have Chris down on the floor. He's going to talk to Jason Singleton. He'll try to catch up with head coach Warsler about the victory and just overall enjoy the celebration here for Columbus Academy. They are state-bound yet again, folks.
Danny's Cafe Rossford. Lights on, crowded. College hoops, let it begin. Big screens glowing every play. From tip-off nights to St. Patrick's Day. Green beer flowing on.
We're live outside Danny's, and the big headline is on the menu. Lake Erie Yellow Perch emergency has folks concerned.
Fresh Lake Erie Yellow Perch.
Danny's style.
Danny's Cafe Rossford Real Lake Erie Perch, best in Ohio.
Maumee Bay Turf Center, a leader in synthetic sports services as well as natural field construction, maintenance, and renovation. Maumee Bay Turf is part of Turf Nation, the most trusted source in the synthetic turf industry, including creating the surface for the biggest game in pro football. From professional, college, and high school sports to recreation and commercial projects, check them out at MaumeeBayTurfCenter.com and see our large collection of finished projects and services. Maumee Bay Turf Center, we build better.
Local sports deserve to be done right. We're built for the communities that support the game. This isn't about one season. Every season matters because every game tells a story. And those stories don't stop at the final buzzer. We're here for every moment, big or small. Watch anytime, anywhere, on your schedule. And it's always free to watch. This is the future of local sports. This is the OH Report.
We're joined now by our MVP, Jason Singleton, and what's got to go down is probably one of the greatest performances from your team in your career here. Tell us what you guys had to do to come back from 14 down.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just stay together. Trust coach's game plan. Trust all the stuff they put together. Trust all the work that we put in, the conditioning. Obviously, double overtime we were tired, but we trust our conditioning and our defense.
We had talked in our pregame about, if this game gets into a Julian Washington and Jason Singleton shootout, who's going to step up? Who did you see there in the huddle? Who looked confident? Tell us a little bit about the rest of the team. Even though you went for the big number in the 30s, who stepped up, did you think, today?
I mean, I can't even say one guy. The whole team, everybody did their part. I mean, Will Bundy had that clutch steal, and I think in the fourth quarter to get us going. And I feel like Charles Ruby did a good job not turn the ball over. Mitch, Ray, everybody played well.
What was the talk in the fourth quarter? You're down 12 points going into the fourth quarter. What Coach Wartzler have to say?
I mean, we've been in these positions before. I mean, we played so many close games. We were down 20 by Dayton Wayne in the early in the season. I mean, we've done this before, so we were ready for the fourth quarter.
On to Dayton University. What's in line next? You've got maybe a matchup with Lutheran East. You've got to get through West Muskingum first. What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, honestly, I'm just looking forward to just playing 2 more games with my guys. We want to make sure we get the first game done, take it 1 game at a time, and get the job done.
Stare up into that camera up there and shout out anybody that you want.
Shout out God, shout out my family. Thank you.
That's Jason Singleton, our MVP. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Maumee Bay Turf Center, a leader in synthetic sports surfaces as well as natural field construction, maintenance, and renovation. Maumee Bay Turf is part of Turf Nation, the most trusted source in the synthetic turf industry, including creating the surface for the biggest game in pro football. From professional, college, and high school sports to recreation and commercial projects. Check them out at MaumeeBayTurfCenter.com and see our large collection of finished projects and services. Maumee Bay Turf Center, we build better.
As we continue our post-game coverage here, the net cutting celebration is underway now for the Vikings of Columbus Academy. You just heard from their star of stars, Jason Singleton. Said he just wants to get the win, make sure that you get that Final Four victory, get back into a position where they were a season ago. Final day of the season, an opportunity to win a Division V state championship. And a team that was shorthanded today, I think probably proved a lot to themselves, certainly to our viewing audience today, that they got the clutch gene. They're able to overcome at the end of the game, down double figures in the fourth quarter. They put together a sensational run, and led by Jason Singleton and a lot of free throws, they're able to cap it off and get a victory, extending their season and their win streak now to 19 in a row. We're going to send it back down to the floor. Chris Bliley is standing by, and he has got their head coach, Jeff Worsler. Take it away, Chris.
And we're joined now by head coach of the Vikings, Jeff Worsler. And Jeff, I heard you talk that maybe Cinderella season after you started 4-4, and now you're going back to Dayton and the state Final Four. Just your feelings right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 4-4. If you just said, and much like you heard me say, if you just said, hey, look, you guys are going to win however many, 18, whatever it is in a row, top it off with a couple of overtime games, and the Harvest Prep game might as well have been an overtime game to get there. Honestly, I'd have laughed. I'd have been like, come on now. But here we are, and it's just we talk about just keep playing all the time, even in those spots. Like, I know we were down, I thought it was 13 at one point. And 14, thank you. And we were like, just keep playing. We'll make a couple plays, run a couple traps, try to quicken it up. You're never going to get it back in one possession. Just relax, get a couple quick layups, and see if we can put a little pressure onto it. And, they just kept believing. I never saw a face in the huddle that said we weren't going to do it. We just kept going, and that's kind of where we've been. We do this stuff in practice. We run these 2- and 3-minute bursts all the time, and then we re-talk the situations after. So I'd like to think when it gets close, we at least have an idea what that looks like.
And then, great effort from Singleton, but your entire team from the free throw line down the stretch, the free throw shooting really was the difference.
It's unbelievable. I mean, Jason, is off the charts. Like, I mean, transcendently awesome. But for us, like the way everybody contributes. We had Mark Masick in the game at the end of the overtime. Mark Masick, I don't think he's played in a game or two. Like, it's like we knew with we had Gabe missing, we had to have everybody give us something to support 5, and they're all bought into what to what we're selling, and and that helps us. That helps us down the stretch. I thought our defense, really helped carry us.
Now, will you be back in with a complete lineup come Dayton?
No, but that's okay. We just again, it said just keep playing mentality. We get people, we just keep going.
Well, hey, you can think about West Muskingum tomorrow. Go cut down that net and celebrate with your team.
Yes, sir. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. All right.
Coach Jeff Worsler of the State Final Four Columbus Academy Vikings, and we'll go back to the pregame show when we return here on the OH Report and the NFHS.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. You see Jeff up to the top of the ladder. He's going to cut that baby down. What a moment this has to be. Unexpected this year, and called themselves a Cinderella. They certainly don't look like it now. 19 straight for Jeff and his Columbus Academy Vikings. They've got a piece of history to bring back home, not too far here from Big Walnut High School, where we'll be back to wrap things up when our post-game show continues in about a minute. Stay locked in.
Danny's Cafe Rossford. Lights on, crowded. College hoops, let it begin. Big screens glowing every play. From tip-off nights to St. Patrick's Day. Green beer flowing on.
We're live outside Danny's, and the big headline is on the menu. Lake Erie Yellow Perch emergency has folks concerned.
Fresh Lake Erie Yellow Perch.
Danny's style.
Danny's Cafe Rossford, real Lake Erie perch, best in Ohio.
Back here with the post-game show from Big Walnut High School, presented by Maumee Bay Turf. Exciting game, amazing finish. Double overtime is what it took for Columbus Academy to eventually get in front, and Jeff Worsler and his crew will move on and mention the word Cinderella to you. This team last year, a juggernaut, 29 straight wins going into the state Final Four. It's a much different feel for the Vikings this go-around.
Yeah, I tell you what, if you're a fan of the Vikings, you got to be super proud of that effort. You got some contributions from some players that normally are playing junior varsity that stepped up in a regional final game, and whether they were asked to go out and play some lockdown defense for a minute or go out there and grab a rebound, they had a couple guys who did that, and that ultimately, that unselfish play, and we saw unselfish play from both of these teams, but that unselfish play certainly paid off for the Vikings after that 4-4 start. Who would have thought that they would be in this position now with a chance to win one more and get back to the state championship game?
Well, certainly not their head coach. He said as much, and I think the entire media and anybody who follows basketball in the Columbus area would agree that it just didn't seem like it was going to be the same type of standard this year. But Jason Singleton and this group of guys, they got 7 seniors on this roster as well. They've been able to find a way. So here are your final stats of the game. And again, just like we saw at halftime, Chris, razor thin all the way across the board with the one big number that's going to jump out at you. You said it during the broadcast. Polar Bears only attempt 11 free throws, 21 made for Academy.
Yeah, and as a coach, one of the goals was always to make more free throws than the attempts that your opponent took. And in this case, they made 10 more.
Crazy.
They're hoping to do one more. They made 21 to the 11 free throws. It's a tough game to officiate, so to sit here and say that the difference in free throws was the difference, it certainly was the difference in the game, but I think there were close calls either way that could have gone either way, and eventually you just got to take advantage of the calls you get, and Columbus Academy did that today.
It's been kind of a long afternoon with the 2 extra sessions, but if you can remember clear back to the first quarter, slow start for both teams. It was 3-0 Margaretta, then a 10-0 spurt, followed by Academy, then 4 straight points to end the first. It's a 1-point game at halftime, and then Julian Washington came alive. That third quarter, it was something spectacular. The Polar Bears fans were going absolutely ballistic, and then they only score 4 points in the fourth. A lot of free throws. Jason Singleton hit some big shots. Academy forces the overtime, and then the big play at the end of OT. You think Julian Washington has a signature moment of his career, game-winning shot, With just 4 seconds, Singleton goes the length of the floor, lays it in as time expires. That was one of the craziest, coolest moments that I've had in high school basketball tournament history.
And then we think back to 4 minutes of game time earlier where we thought Julian might have won it at the end of regulation, but a foul called just before he knocks down a free throw line jumper that would have given the Polar Bears the win in regulation. But certainly I want to thank you and your family for allowing me to come in here. I'm sitting between your wife and you, and I know it's a Sunday, and there's a lot of other things that we'd like to do, but there's no better time of the year than high school tournament time, NCAA tournament time, and at the high school level to watch 14, 15, 16-year-old kids compete with their, wearing their heart on the sleeves. It's just special, and I want to thank you for allowing me to be part of it.
To be my wife, you have to understand that this is a magical time, and you just got to buy in. She's smiling. She knows that this is Sunday date day here at the gym. But, Chris, it's over now. Boy, what a game we had to make it to the Sunday Spectacular was definitely worth it. The extra day, I think they got it right playing it here at Big Walnut. A lot of fun here this afternoon, and congratulations to Columbus Academy for what a gutsy performance. They could have been left dead on the side of the highway a couple of times. They battled, they make plays when it mattered, and defensively, a team that's held everybody over their last 14 under 50. They did it to the Polar Bears as well in regulation, but they step up, they make the plays when it matters. And on the flip side, Julian Washington, Judah Keller, all those seniors, there's so many good ones. That's a big senior class that's going to be missed for Margaretta. There's a lot that's been earned and proven, and we'll miss those guys.
They didn't want to go out this way, but they're going to go out in a game that people in Castalia, the Cold Creek Tavern, will be talking about for years to come.
For my partner, Chris Bliley, Adam Thompson back at the studio, and of course, our camera lady extraordinaire, Jory Hollenbeck. I'm Brian Skronsky signing off for today, but we'll be back with the OH Report video podcast tomorrow if you're watching on the OH Report. And for those of you who enjoyed this live on NFHS Network, we bid you farewell for now.